Hey everyone, my name is Rosie and welcome back to my channel. Now that the weather is a lot warmer out, at least where I live, there are flowers blooming everywhere. I go for my little walks and there's flowers just popping up everywhere, and I love using flowers in my collages. I use them all the time, but this got me thinking, what if instead of using images of flowers, we used real flowers in a collage? Well, pressed flowers, that is. And so I got a whole pack of pressed flowers off the internet. Now I would love to use flowers that I pressed myself, but that takes a little bit of time, so we'll have to do that in the future. So I just got some from the internet for now. I also have two glass frames here that are just two pieces of glass smushed together, and I thought these would be perfect to use with pressed flowers. Now the first step is to open up this package and see what the flowers look like. What is the variety? What are the colors like? I haven't looked yet, so I'm very excited to see what's inside. And then we'll find images to pair with the flowers. I'm thinking black and white, but we'll have to see what we find, what we can come up with, and I hope we can make a cool collage. So let's jump into it. Before we dive into looking at what the pressed flowers look like, I did want to share one of the very first pieces I ever made on this channel, and it is this woman with a flower dress. Now, this is sort of the idea of a piece that I could make with real pressed flowers. The elements I love about this piece are the fact that the woman is in black and white, so the colorful flowers really contrast with that well. I also really love that this piece is on a white background. I think that that also helps with the flowers popping off the page. So those are elements that I was thinking of sort of trying to keep with the new piece that I make. Now, I probably won't make a flower dress just because I've done that, but who knows what we'll end up making. But I did want to share this just as something that has been in the back of my mind for this project. Also, you can watch this video. It's like one of the first ones I ever published. You can go and watch it, but it's not good. Just a warning, it's not a good video. So let's go and open the pressed flowers now. This packaging from Amazon is kind of funny. It's very adorable. This says sunlight, chick, hi, flower, girl, cactus, and it's got these cute little illustrations. What this has to do with pressed flowers, I truly do not know, but it is adorable and it's kind of a nice touch. So let's see what's in here. Oh, it came with these little tweezers. That is very helpful, and that is a nice touch. I did not know it was gonna come with that. What are these? Are these stickers? I think these are butterfly stickers. Also did not know that these were in here. We probably won't use those, but they're cool to have. Wow, these are beautiful. I kind of like that they're sort of already organized by color. Okay, I love the variety here, so I feel like I could do a lot with these. Also, part of me thinks that these are not all real flowers. Are there real flowers that are this neon green, or are these dyed? I'm not sure. It's similar with these blue flowers. I feel like this is not a natural blue. I don't know, maybe it is. I don't know, I just sort of maybe feel like these two have had extra dye put on them, I think. But they are still very beautiful. Here's a closer look at this purple and white pack. These are really beautiful. This is probably my favorite colors of the pack. I also really love the yellow. So now that I have sort of a better idea of what we have to work with, I'm gonna start looking through some books for images we can use with these and try to come up with some ideas. So I've collected a bunch of images and have a couple ideas that I really like. The first one, I found this boat couple, and I was thinking we could use the flowers to create a sort of oceanscape, some sort of, water-like texture with the flowers, and then put the boat on top, so it's sort of like they're floating through this ocean of flowers. I also found this hand, which I thought just might be nice to stick out, picking one of the flowers or putting a flower down or something like that. And then I found a couple of garden images that I thought could work. So this little girl who is watering these flowers, I was thinking we could use her and replace obviously these drawn flowers with real flowers, and that might be cute. And then I was also thinking if we go with the flower motif, maybe we could have a dinosaur, coming off to the side and he's eating some of the flowers. And then a couple other things. So I found this sort of phonograph record player type thing. Well, there was a ton of musical musical instruments in this book, and I was thinking the flowers could be sort of like music motif. We could have the flowers coming sort of out of the top of the phonograph and creating some sort of musical sort of shape. And the last thing I found is these 3 older ladies doing laundry. And I was thinking, instead of them holding sheets and towels and things, could we replace those sheets and towels with flowers and maybe have flowers coming out of the wash bins and maybe around a little bit too? So it's sort of like they're washing their flowers and hanging them to dry. So I'm going to cut out some of the options we have. We'll get some of the flowers out, start arranging some things, and decide which layout we like the best. So I've got everything cut out, and I also made 2 very rough templates that just help me guide the size of each of the glass frames that I have, just so I know how much space I'm working with. So now it's time to really dive into the flowers. So my top favorite ideas are, 1, this boat image, and I could potentially create some sort of wave, something that looks kind of like an ocean. But I also really love this little girl with the watering can. If I cut her out completely, I could maybe nestle her feet within a bundle of flowers. And so I could have just this entire bottom thing just be full of flowers, and she's sort of standing within them. And then lastly, I do think that this phonograph is an interesting idea, and I think the composition could be something where the phonograph's on the bottom, and then we have the sound go, kind of some snake outwards, and it starts maybe kind of small and gets larger. And so that might be a really graphic option for the flowers. I only have 2 frames and I have 3 good ideas that I like. So we really got to dive into the flowers now to see what we have to work with. I don't think I'm the biggest fan of these blue flowers. I kind of want to keep the color palette, I think, a little bit more restricted. So I'm going to take those out. I'm trying to think if I should keep the color palette of these 2 pieces a little bit more refined. So I'm thinking I kind of either want to stick with red or purple for the music. Yeah, I don't want to do just yellow on its own. I don't think that will stand out enough. I think I'm leaning towards purple, and I think having a restricted color palette will help with the piece not feeling super busy, because I think you could easily run into that. Is a piece feeling overly busy if you just have so many colors? I think I'll stick to everything that's in this pack for the music piece. Sorry, I'm going to be jumping around a little bit. I think the proof of concept for this piece is there. So I'm going to move it off to the side and just make sure that I like where the music piece will go with all the purple, and then we'll go back to the other piece. So this needs a little bit of tweaking in terms of where each individual flower is going to be, but overall the general composition I really like and think is really strong, and I really love the sort of limited color palette of the purple and then there's the little pops of yellow. So I think overall, until we get this sort of in a final stage and into the frame, I think it's in a good place for now. So let's go back to the girl with the watering can. I think I need to approach this with a different strategy. I was just at first putting flowers down kind of all willy-nilly, but I feel like I need to take everything off, start with the biggest flowers first, and maybe some of these taller ones if I want them to be in the background. Start with those first and then layer the smaller flowers on top of that, because it's sort of impossible to move everything once you have a huge stack of flowers down. And I also think we need more yellow and more white flowers for this piece. So I'm gonna open this package. So I've just decided and come to the realization that these pressed flowers are just spray painted different colors. Each pack has very similar amount of flowers. And as you can tell from this one, this side is pretty yellow, and then this side looks like it once was green and was painted yellow. So no shade to this company that sells these pressed flowers. I'll leave a link to this exact pack if you are interested in using it, but I don't think I would necessarily recommend this set of pressed flowers, especially if you're looking for more of a natural, real flower. I would just say that these kind of look a little fake. I'll just say that. Now, in terms of my composition here, I do really like this mound down here. I think that's really beautiful. And I love the height that some of these pieces are giving, but I feel like they don't necessarily fit into the scene. I want to remove them and just see sort of what that looks like. If I need to just remove them or have more pieces with height to them, I'm not exactly sure. I just feel like they didn't super fit. Oh yeah, I think this makes a little bit more sense and is a little simpler with the composition. I kind of want to assemble this one more time in the frame and just kind of see what it looks like. I know once I close it and tip it upside down, I'm pretty sure the flowers will fall everywhere, but I just kind of want to see what it's going to look like because I feel like I just need a visual of it. Oh, I kind of like it. And the flowers are mostly staying. Oh boy, I don't know what to do. So I'm sitting here trying to figure out what exactly about this composition I'm not super in love with. There's something about it that, I don't know, just doesn't feel quite right. And I think I finally figured out what it is. I'm not loving that the flowers are going right up to the edge of the frame here. And I don't think that that is the way this should go. I don't want to have to cut any of these flowers. I think what I love about pressed flower compositions in general that I've seen is that they sit in sort of an organic shape and you can see the full flower. I don't like the idea that these are going to butt up against the edge and we might have to trim them. I don't love that. So I think I need to revisit this composition in a different way, and maybe we should have the little girl in the middle of the frame and just arrange the flowers all around her so she's fully enveloped with flowers, and then we don't have any flowers touching the edge of the frame. I think that will be a stronger composition. I also think it will be more similar, and why I'm liking this music one a little bit better is because none of these flowers are going to the edge. They're all contained within the frame. So let's make that update and see how we feel about it. Hopefully I'll be liking it a little bit better. They are delicate, so I feel like I need to be a little bit more careful. I'm really loving this new direction for the composition. I think it makes a whole lot more sense. I also really love how the little girl now pops off the flowers and how she's fully surrounded. I really love this so much more than what I had before, so I'm glad I made the change. Now, the thing I need to do next is sort of figure out how exactly I'm going to finalize these and get them ready to put into a frame. Now, I do kind of like both of these just on white pieces of paper, and so I might regret going full with just the glass for these frames, but I do feel like there's something really nice about being able to look through part of it too. I guess I'm just not exactly sure how I'm going to secure the flowers so they don't move around in the frame. I still need to figure out how we're gonna do that. So I just did a little bit of research on what other people do to secure their pressed flowers within frames like this. I don't know why I didn't do this research days ago before I started this project, but now is as good time as any. And what I found was some people do glue the pressed flowers straight to the glass, and I think that is one way you can totally do it. But I did just stumble upon one tutorial that used double-sided tape to adhere the flowers to the glass. And I think that is going to be the perfect solution for me because I do think it's going to hold it really well, but I also think at some point later down the line, if I do want to use these frames for something else, I think I will pretty easily be able to remove the tape and the flowers and be able to use these frames if I so choose that in the future. So I'm really excited to see what these are gonna look like in the frame. So I got my tape, I've got my scissors that I use specifically for sticky projects, and let's jump into this and start assembling and see what these are gonna look like. And here are the two pressed flower collages we made today. I think they ended up looking great in the glass frames, and I'm glad now that I've had a little bit of experience using pressed flowers, so I'm excited to collect and press my own flowers to use in future collages. I hope you all enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!